you carried it out, et cetera, et cetera. So in the burger, let's see, we have water, soy protein concentrate, coconut oil, sunflower oil, natural flavors. I love that. 2% or less potato protein, methyl cellulose, yeast extract, cultured dextrose, food starch, modified food starch, and soy leg hemoglobin. What the hell is that, David? Soy leg hemoglobin. Before you got to tell us what that is before you even start.
I'm pretty sure that's their that's how they make it look a little bit more like a beef burger.
Okay.
What's ironic about the study was that most people, we had 3 groups. You know, we had a 4-ounce beef patty, a 4-ounce Impossible patty, so you kind of had a direct comparison. And then this will lead into the how we developed the study. But we also had like an 8-ounce Impossible burger group, and pretty much everyone wanted into the 8-ounce Impossible burger group because it's just more calories. And the context behind these studies when we do these infusions is they come in on a 10-hour fast, and then we need you to fast for like 4 more hours so we can get a quote unquote basal rate. So by the time you get any food, you've not eaten in 14 hours. So pretty much everyone thought all the burgers tasted fine at that point. But so no one was complaining at all in the study in that regard. But now the study came about. I think Dr. Wolfe is actually the PI on the grant. I helped him write it, and so you know, these commodity groups come out with calls every year. So we had this idea of like, well, let's compare the Impossible Burger, the beef burger, and when I told the story at the conference, but now I guess it can be documented on YouTube. But when I was like writing the grant, I was like, oh, this is going to look really nice because the breakdown of the essential amino acids, which our group has shown seems to be the primary stimulator of MPS, appears to be about half the amount in the Impossible Burger's beef. So beef would have like 8 or 9, and the Impossible Burger would have like 4, 4.5. I was like, oh, let's do a beef burger, 1 Impossible Burger, and then a double Impossible Burger. So we'd have an isonitrogenous comparison and like an iso-EA comparison. And science changes, and it changes quickly in nutrition, ironically. Between writing that and then getting the data and working on it, a paper came out where they actually measured the breakdown. Like before that, you were kind of guessing the EA composition based off the ingredients that you rattled off there earlier. But there's a group, Fagnelli, I think it's Stein is the corresponding author, but Fagnelli is the lead, if I'm saying it right, where they actually measure the protein content, the amino acid content, and I ended up being a little bit wrong. That, you know, in their study, they had the beef burger at like, I think it was 9 grams of essentials. I have it here real quick. I think they had it at 10 grams of essentials, and then they had a Impossible Burger at 7.5. And when I saw that, I was like, oh no, I've made a huge mistake. And that meant the 8-ounce Impossible Burger had 15. So I was like, now I don't have a comparison at all. But ironically, despite that, you know, pretty similar profile, which was good to see, we still got divergent results. You know, as I presented at the conference, only the 4-ounce beef burger and the 8 ounces of the Impossible Burger, so 2 patties, stimulated muscle protein synthesis, whereas the single Impossible Burger, despite having 7.5 grams of EAs, which is a reasonable amount, did not stimulate MPS above like basal rates. And when you looked at the change, you know, so you're fed muscle protein synthetic rate, and you subtract out your, you know, that 14-hour fasted rate, and you just look at the change between the groups, both the 4 ounces of beef and the 8 ounces of the Impossible Burger were a significantly greater change than the 4 ounces of the Impossible Burger. So I got a little lucky on that one, but it certainly, you know, the whole point was that we were trying to make is that they're not a 1-to-1 replacement from a metabolic standpoint.